For me, this is the main event. This is an absolute slayer. What a match. Two unbelievably talented athletes here. Lightweight division. But if you need talent, look no further than the table now. Dr. Daniel, the surgeon.
You gotta come down.
Daniel Procopciuc.
Down.
We have a lot of great arm wrestlers in the building. There's no doubt about it. But make no
Last chance you're gonna get a warning.
doubt about the fact
It's so low.
that these two gentlemen, one, maybe the best technical mover in our sport in Mindaugas, and by far the strongest pound-for-pound human being in the building today, Daniel Procopciuc. To me, the last time these two guys met, the score before Mindaugas took control was 2-0, and frankly, in Daniel's wheelhouse. To me, Daniel kind of let up. You have to be careful up 2-0 against an opponent. Sometimes you can let them have.
Go! Here we go. Wow, little slip. Trav, just to build on what you're saying there, mate, what's so good about this, as you said a moment ago, you're looking at the aspects that make the sport of arm wrestling. Technique, strength, represented in two very different ways. But also, there's another element here. These guys have faced each other multiple times, and every time their matches evolve. Who has learned more since that last encounter? Who has come in and done their homework?
And it's easy to see Mindaugas has been on an absolute tear through the entire division. Not able to overcome the champion, Makarov, but besides that, these are the top 2-3 guys in the entire world at this weight class.
Here we go. Daniel asking for the match to be centered. Mindaugas Tarasaitis is like a human vacuum pump. He wants to extract all the air, all the space from the match, tighten up, coil up, and immediately he wants you to feel that unbelievable back pressure, the pronation. Daniel Procopciuc, by contrast, is looking to utilize the joint and that absolute raw red line power to dismember his opponent. Here we go. Down come the hands.
Round one's going to tell us a lot here. Is the strength gap still significant, or can Mindaugas put the brakes on early?
Move. Go!
We are underway, and I'll tell you what, massive drive there to the back of the pad from Procopciuc, but it's anchored tight, and look at the... Oh, it's an elbow foul. He went too far to the back of the pad. What was really, really concerning there, if you're in the Procopciuc corner, was that, for me, Mindaugas Tarasaitis looked absolutely in control. Devon, thoughts on that one?
Mindaugas Tarasaitis on his way to expand on his victory from the first time, it seems. You watch him in the set, subtle movements, the elbow moving from left to right, the hand moving back and forwards, constantly repositioning and tightening. In the setup, Mindaugas relentlessly advancing, landing in a fabulous position of efficiency close to the pad. Wonderful efficiency displayed from Mindaugas Tarasaitis.
He may not have brought his pointy hat and his wand, but that man is a wizard. Here we go. Look at the application of the strap and watch the subtle movements from these two magnificent technicians. Daniel Procopciuc looking to create that depth on the palm, get forward and tight, make sure that he bypasses the pronation. By contrast, look at the low hand application, trying to spin that thumb into thin air. Mindaugas Tarasaitis sucking all the air out of that match, making sure that the pronation will instantly contact the fingers, the hand and the wrist of Daniel Procopciuc. Fascinating interplay in this setup.
Mindaugas using his longer arm, moving into a high bottom, a low-handed top roll, elevating the base.
Marcos, move.
Go! We are on the way. And Mindaugas Tarasaitis adopts a fantastic position, but he is still in huge danger. Because look at the power of Daniel Procopciuc here. unbelievably strong. And what is evident is that he will try to keep Mindaugas Tarasaitis onto that brack.
Edging in with the shoulder, Neil. Edging in. So subtly, Mindaugas is sneaking it in.
Look how hard left Daniel Procopciuc has gone. He's trying to get separation and palm up Mindaugas, but that is not an easy task. And watch for the slight subtle forward momentum on that hit there from Procopciuc. There it is again. You saw the adjustment. And that is hard to counter. And as you said a moment ago, Devon, this is looking great for Tarasaitis.
Complete and total hand dominance displayed throughout the entirety of the match by Mindaugas Tarasaitis. Absolute hand control. The only chance was him to get his shoulder in, and he denied it at every option. Mindaugas Tarasaitis with a strong 1-0 lead in this rematch for the number 2 spot in the 77-kilo right-hand division.
Now, Travis, if you look at the optic there, mate, you got to think, if you're in Daniel's corner, the fatigue's now set into that hand and wrist. Where's his lane? Where's his option? Where does he go from here?
Yeah, you would think that if you were in his corner early, you were maybe looking for that match to happen around round 3, maybe 4. The fact that it's happened in round 1 is a serious problem. Listen, you can mistake the confidence, the humor, the sarcasm of Mindaugas for him trying to just be funny. But make no mistake about it, this guy's poise is absolutely perfect when it comes to the sport of arm wrestling. You saw the angles, you saw the patience, you saw the small regrip, hand control. This guy is the real deal. He may actually be the very best in this weight class. We will soon
10
see.
seconds till next round.
And he was really chasing that match with Makarov, wants it very badly. I'm sure he's going to get it soon. Daniel Procopciuc will have other ideas, however, and he wants to cut him off at the knees and prevent that ascension.
What I'd want to highlight is the mental and physical composure. The mental and physical composure of Mindaugas. Completely still.
Another factor to throw in here, which people won't know at home, and it's been a bit of a storyline behind today. Making no excuses for Mindaugas. Obviously, he's not needing it. He's looking fabulous. But he has been extremely ill for 2 days. Hasn't left his hotel room. Has been very ill. Some kind of stomach virus. And yet, he still looks exceptional up there today.
Daniel really trying to sneak that shoulder in, really trying to play the shoulder game heavily with Mindaugas at this point. You have to wonder if the wedge is going to be enough. Clearly he wants it to be arm to arm. The hand control from Mindaugas is just not allowing that to get there at this point in the match. Fatigue could be making it even worse at this point.
I was just going to say, Devon, with the degree of fatigue that went in those first 2 rounds, and we talked in the last match with Yevgeny Prudnik and Jordan, when you can see it written all over a high-level arm wrestler when they start to get desperate, they start to get chaotic, and they make moves that we know they otherwise wouldn't. And in that very first round, Procopciuc rushed to the back of the pad, ended up fouling out, but his hand and wrist were already getting exposed. And when he re-gripped, he went for something entirely different. Evidence that he is up against it here. And Tarasaitis is looking solid. Be ready. There's the drive again and commanding position. But he couldn't attack any harder to that left side there, Procopciuc. He's selling it early.
So good. Look at the freaking confidence of Mindaugas Tarasaitis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly the composure that you are supposed to demonstrate once you have a high levels arm wrestler's wrist crack. The patience. Watch for the regrip, the side pressure, the elbow coming forward, the index finger rising slowly but surely. Then you see the angle. Neil pick up. How long can Daniel Procopciuc hold on at this angle?
Well, you can tell one thing, that he is utterly committed now. He has nowhere else to go. And now Procopciuc commits hard and tries to separate the shoulder. of Mindaugas from his forearm. But Tarasaitis had just started to edge his elbow and starting to lean forward into the match, putting tremendous pressure on the tendons and ligaments in that elbow. And that is damaging. There is no doubt about it. That will make you feel it. You'll feel that to the wee hours tonight. And you do wonder, are we seeing the light start to close out here as we look at that on the replay, Devon?
A slow and methodical dissection, leaving no entry whatsoever. All chances slowly melting. The entry into a high-level match of this nature must be technically perfect. Mindaugas made no mistakes. It will take an absolute miracle, from my perspective, for Daniel to get in at this point, and I am already thinking about Makarov for our champion.
Well, be careful now. Makarov has a very tough match. Not sure if you guys know about it. Ingen Terzi is very much alive.
You said his name.
Ingen Terzi is alive, but don't get it twisted.
Wow.
I think that it is very easy for us to take a look at Mindaugas and think, he actually is really, really getting better. He has uptick there. So, if Makarov is still available and he is still on top after next month, there is no doubt about it. Mindaugas will be looking for that belt at this weight class.
I love the technical expertise. I love the composure of this champion. Mindaugas, I think, is one of our most balanced, stable, and technically precise and measured athletes. Never making a mistake technically, always in composure.
Time expired.
Time expires and we go back into the match. And
Center.
obviously, we've seen the game plan from Daniel Procopciuc, and he is 100% reliant on the fact that he's going to put as much burn and sheer anguish into the brack and stop that top roll, stop that back pressure. But it is not working. And if you notice, as we've pointed to throughout this, there's no attempt there to contest it. Both men know it's going to the strap. But once it lands and takes a shape, the match, we can see Mindaugas is immediately going to work, and his options are huge. One of the reasons there is, if you've not been up close and personal with Mindaugas, you don't realise this guy is huge in terms of his structure for this weight division.
The game is understood by Mindaugas Tarasaitis. When he achieves control, things just get worse for you.
Vacuum punch, sucks the air out of the match. Look how he's distanced his wrist. He's backed it out of the match. He's making Daniel Procopciuc reach for him already. And that huge frame, big hand, longer lever. Both these men actually started their career and had their best times at the WAF World Championships in the 154, 70 kilo category, that is. Both men were world champions there.
Options only get worse, Neil. They only get worse as things move forward.
And he never stops working, Devon. I know you're a huge advocate of that, so am I. He advances his position continually. And it's subtle, and it's beautiful to watch. And that is why I'm such a fan, as we all are, of Mindaugas, Moriarty, Tarasaitis. And right now, he leads this match 2-0.
Hand control is a beautiful thing. If you don't have it, you better have a king's move or you better have a flop.
Topper, flopper.
You better. And at this level, Mindaugas is already prepared for all those options. The center of arm wrestling, height, cup, roll, the essential components, clearly being owned by Mindaugas. We need a miracle for Daniel Procopciuc to stay in this match.
Daniel, shoulder.
Procopciuc.
Shoulder.
That is so unbelievable when you think about the position that this amazing athlete is in. Having no angles and such a slow, methodical win to each round here. Absolutely incredible.
Move. Shoulder in. Go!
Here we go, round 3, and just like round 1 and round 2, the hand and wrist is bent back, not as compromised as much as it was in round 1 or round 2, but you can clearly see that Mindaugas is in charge. Daniel, not thinking the pressure is so overwhelming, just sees no angles where he could turn this thing into any sort of offense. Amazing job. Look, kind of like a young Cobra Rhodes here. You see Mindaugas working around the regrip. And it is obvious that there is nowhere to go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the amazing Mindaugas Tarasaitis.
I believe that the gap has widened. This was a rematch. The last time it was a fabulous match of technical display, and Mindaugas has widened the gap. Congratulations to an unbelievable performance, an unbelievable demonstration of technique, methodical movement and countering, leaving absolute frustration in his opponent.
Look at you can see the gears he's going throughout that match. He totally dominated. Ray Lipins is with Mindaugas Tarasaitis. Let's hear what he has to say after that match.